Hello, good afternoon from here. My name is Promise Odera Onu. And in today's topic, we are going to look at something that all of us should be enjoying, that we are not certainly enjoying, which is postal services, post office. When you see or when you hear of postal services, you probably think of sending letters from one place to the other. But there are also other things people send using the post office and other services they provide in other Sena climes. So we always look at Nigeria, try to provide solutions to the many issues and problems that we have in Nigeria. And today we are going to be looking at the postal services. So we all know what is obtainable in Nigeria. After coming to the UK, I use the postal services here, I use the post office whenever I want to send things, and I never had an issue. I mean, if I send something to somebody who has moved away from a particular address, they usually return it. There's something called return to sender, and you can usually put it back in the post office, and the post office will send it back to the originating sender. So, because of the thrust I had on the post office, I went and sent a phone to a friend then in Nigeria. So it didn't occur to me that how post office works is that when you give them something here, it works as far as in the UK, as far as the UK is concerned. But when it gets to the border, they have to send or hand over to the Nigerian Postal Service, Nigerian Post Office, and from there, whatever happens is not under their limit. So I waited and waited. I promised the person was happy. Oh, waiting for this thing. And eventually, weeks went by, months, and no receipt. So I took and I didn't do, what do you call it? Is it sign for the other one that you do and you can track whatever? So, and they said to me, listen, we did send it off, but again, Nigerian Post Office is not, what it should be. And that's when it occurred to me, because I tried to ring the Nigerian Post Office and their numbers are not even going, which is another big issue you have in Nigeria. There's no major services that all their numbers are working, and somebody can answer. So administration is very poor. Accountability is very poor. If, say, for example, you want to speak to Nigerian Post Office or Nigerian Custom or Nigerian whatever, and you want to sort of speak to somebody about an issue, you find out that you probably meet loggerheads. Nobody will probably answer the phone. Most of the phones are not answerable. So that was my experience with Nigerian Post Office. And that's what people told me, oh, listen, if you want to send anything that is important, don't even dream of using post office. And when I was in Onitsha, there is a place called, there's a Nigerian post office box in Old Market or New Market. Like when you are getting close to Main Market, you will see the post office, this thing. And I used to go there, there's PO box that you could always go and, check and see if you've received. But then those are for some people in the society that probably own PO boxes. So I remember even when I had to go admission abroad, it was email that saved me, and they never used Nigerian Post Office, they used DHL. Some subsequent occasions since that time, anytime I want to post anything, phone, laptop, letters, document, anything important, I'm always using DHL. And DHL is not a Nigerian company. DHL is not a Nigerian company. There's one called UPS as well. UPS is also global. So the thing is, wherever there is inefficiency and you see, what do you call it? An inadequate service, right? Other viable companies sees it as an opportunity to step in and make money from that particular field by providing those services. And that's what we've seen with the logistics in Nigeria. You can't trust the system. All the post offices in Nigeria has actually shut down, more or less. Nothing is happening. There's no logistics, there is no road, There is no, is it the motorcycle they are going to use in delivering that, So you look at the whole system, things have crumbled so much so that nothing is working. And at least, not so much money, but at least there's revenue in that as well. Because you won't tell me that DHL is making a loss. You can't tell me UPS is making a loss. So if UPS can do it, DHL can do it, of course there's money there. But it purely is because our inability to select or to appoint people that can run all these government agencies very well. Rather, we use nepotism and tribe and religion to sort of cause a lot of inadequacy and inefficiency, thereby killing all these things that government should ordinarily provide for their citizens and at the same time make a little bit of money. I mean, to post a little letter here, you probably pay P's, get the crown stickers and put on it and probably send it off. But imagine the frequency of that. People trust the system. There's never a time you go to post office, there is no queue. Never a time you go to post office, there is no queue. And they provide other services. They do the bureau de change. Nigeria, we don't have bureau de change. Actually, all the bureau de changes have been closed down because they're trying to save the Naira crashing. Do you understand? So the Naira crashing has caused bureau de change to close. And these are things that if we had a sufficient or good... Remember, my page is about best practices. So what is obtainable in Nigeria? What is obtainable everywhere or elsewhere? So if the UK post office can do things like bureau de change as well as post goods and services, post items for people, right? See the money they can generate. So you can exchange money, you can buy other currencies from the same post office, you can send off things, you can even do things like taking passport pictures or professional this thing. And there's some things that have to do with immigration that you have to do with the post office as well. So they provide additional services. Of course, if we have all these offices, almost every locality have a post office. Almost every locality. But Nigeria, we killed the NIPOST. It's called NIPOST, Nigerian Post Office or Nigerian Postal Service. Destroyed. Everything we used to enjoy in Nigeria has been crippled and nobody is bothering to wake them up. All of them destroyed completely. Nigerian Post Office destroyed. Nigerian Water Corporation destroyed. All our roads destroyed. Today I was just listening to channels on Sunrise. Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. Do you know when Lagos-Ibadan Expressway? Over 28 years. The first person that signed it was Obasanjo that awarded that contract. How long does it take to build ordinary road? M4 here in the UK that Theresa May said that have been delivered. So we have all these many issues and we don't even know, we don't have the willpower to revive them. How then do you want the economy to grow? People are busy fighting about who should take responsibility of bringing students back from Sudan. So what we have now, even up till now, none of the students have been returned. We're talking about weeks. Other African countries, Uganda Airline landed with their aircraft, took their citizens, went. Some countries came by boat, took their services. Some countries took land, air, and water transportation and took their countries like America. Nigeria is still arguing how much should be given to these people, how much... Imagine, they are arguing who is within the remit to sort of bring these people back. Should it be NEMA? Should it be NIDCOM? Should it be foreign affairs? Should it be our embassies? Embassies are saying they are not in charge of the money. All they are doing is assembling students. NEMA is saying they are not in charge of the money that is coming from this. NIDCOM is saying it is 1.2 million, 30,000 to hire. How can you say 30,000? $30,000. I did the calculation on 700. Mind you, dollar is about 740. I did the calculation on 700. 21 million naira to hire a bus, a 60-seater bus, under a ceasefire calculation for a 5-hour drive. No threat to you. They know you are carrying students. Just drive. And you have multiple buses that they've actually ordered from you. And you're telling us it's 21 million. Is it not the money that they are planning to steal that is causing fractions between them now? Nigerian embassy Sudan is now complaining that it's not them that they gave the money. NEMA is an internal affairs emergency this thing. They're supposed to wait for the students to land before they intervene. They are the ones that they gave money to go and manage what should be happening externally, internationally. When the Ministry of the Foreign Affairs that has been speaking to presidents, speaking to embassies, that are supposed to handle this thing. Nigeria, we don't have sense. We keep making an embarrassment of ourselves. Every time everybody want to chop money. We have only about 29 days before we go out of government, and this one landed on our laps. Oh, let us steal money, let us steal money. I saw one stupid comment somebody was making under my comment, saying we should be lucky that this person is only asking for millions, that some other agencies will ask for billions. Nigerians have accepted corruption. Nigerians have accepted mediocrity. Nigerians are even fighting for mediocrity. Nigerians are fighting for the oppressor. Even telling you this oppressor is better, he's asking for millions. Up till now, no single student have been evacuated. None. Channels this morning was showing list of countries that have completed evacuation. African countries are there. It came to Nigeria own. None evacuated. People have evacuated 300, 400, some thousands. We are really, really stupid. Our children's life worth nothing. Some people were telling me, oh, it's because he's a Muslim. That's why you are saying, what concerns Muslims and Igbos in this matter? If anything, when it happened to South Africans, which are heavily more from people from the south, it was Air Force, it was Air Peace that intervened. Nobody heard of any money being attributed. When it happened in Ukraine, that people know that it's most people from the south, no money was attributed. It came to this one now that is more of people from the north and Muslims that are there. Money is flying around everywhere. Yet, no evacuation has been done. Yes, our Air Force has landed. I've seen the pictures. Our Air Force have sent their military aircraft. Of that, I welcome that. That's a welcome development. And that's how it should be. It's supposed to be our aircraft, our military aircraft, working in tandem with the foreign ministry. These things are external. Agencies supposed to know which one is external, which one is internal. Anything outside Nigeria should be Nigerian Air Force under the foreign ministry, working with foreign organizations. Okay, what if NEMA is doing this nonsense and they start shooting bullets on those buses? What will happen? Who will intervene? So we're in a situation whereby, because people are so corrupt, they just want to get hand of the money. Now people are saying, imagine they are saying the $1.2 million is not enough to evacuate how many? 13 buses. Only 13 buses have already this thing. Okay, I heard the ceasefire have been extended. What are we doing to get these people across? Why haven't these people got visa? How can NEMA provide visa for these people? You have over 6 agencies fighting. You have NIDCOM, you have NEMA, you have Foreign Affairs, you have Embassy in Sudan, Embassy in Egypt, and one of the embassies, Humanitarian Keniko. All these nonsense people. Can't you guys channel? Don't we have channel of command? Everybody wants to show their, and this is why some of all these agencies need to be meshed up. Merge all of them up. We have so many different people doing what we don't know, just taking money from government coffers and squandering them. Even embassy, what do you call it? The ambassador in Sudan was lamenting that students should not carry any this thing on them, any attack on them. That they are all in the same situation. Students don't have food, they don't have food. Students don't have water, they don't have water. Students don't have electricity, they don't have electricity. The man had to send a voice note. That's how bad he is. A voice note, he couldn't even come on Zoom call. A whole ambassador. I will have a country. Our aircraft, our military aircraft is there in Egypt. Yes, in Egypt. But there is no clearance because NEMA took the money and paid buses without going through the right channel. Is it not the Minister of Foreign Affairs? What is his name? Geoffrey Onyama. That's supposed to be in charge of making sure that when the embassy, which is under his ministry, bring the list of these people, that these people will now, their name is supposed to be passed to Egypt before they even get to the Egyptian border. If you know Egypt will not give you clearance, you go to Ethiopia, which was other option they were considering. Very, very appalling. It's like you have People that are educated, they're supposed to be doing things the right way. Everything is always complicated and everything has to be smooth screen and just to get money and pocket and go their way. They don't care about those students. Simply, let's say the truth. They simply don't care about those students. If those students die, it's not a problem. No food, no water, but they're all showering. I heard they're staying in 5-star hotels in Egypt. You rush, go without authorization, without working in partnership. That's why some people will come and say, we have 3,600 people that we're evacuating. Another person, Abike or whatever his name is called, her name is called, we say 5,500. They will release some money for 5,500. They will return it and say, sorry, they will now change it and say, the numbers is now only 13 buses, only 40 buses. That has 60 carrier capacity. 60 times 40 is not 2,400. So what happened to the other number? Are you going to leave them behind? The problem is that they all know the major political offices are stealing because they're all leaving office when the new government sets in, so they're all keen on stealing at this point. Yes! You hit the nail on the head. They know they have days to go. So this is like a last golden opportunity. Both the CBN that is releasing the money, both every ministry want to get involved with this thing so they can steal as much as possible. Students are still there with their bags. Some have not had shower. You know what this idiot said on TV? That you have to buy biscuits and buy water. Biscuits and water for how many days? Oh God. Return these people to their families so they can hug their children. Nigeria is a shame of a country. Sometimes I wish I can just I wish God give us a way of living our destiny and becoming. In fact, I wish Nigeria can just divide. It's nonsense. There's nothing to be proud of. How many days? You can't say Sudan is stopping people from evacuating their citizens. Other citizens are leaving. We're talking about students here. A businessman that is doing business in Sudan, in this kind of situation, should be able to buy his own ticket or his train transportation and flee. We're talking about students who don't have money, who rely on their parents for feeding. Bring these people back home. Air Peace has offered this aircraft. Okay, fair enough. We're not using Air Peace anymore. We're now using the Air Force. Air Force has landed. Where are the students? Where is the bosses? Every day they will come and be telling us one nonsense. You have about 5 agencies fighting to scramble money. The people that are supposed to have the money, the embassies, don't have the money. Does Egypt now need money to issue their visa? I don't know. Egypt, don't you know that these people are just running for their life? Are they coming to stay in Egypt? Nobody knows. Are the students saying they don't want to return to Nigeria? Nobody knows. No clear communication. Everything is falling apart. This is how even our postal office just died off. No single postal office is working in Nigeria. Imagine 200 million people as an estimate. I like the census they cancelled, by the way, because that, I said it before, it's a waste of resources. They should channel that money to something else. That census is waste of resources. So I applaud Buhari for saving us another loot. Whoever is in the SIMA, whatever they are called, thank God that it has been cancelled. So that one, bygone. Now, when we look at all these issues, you ask yourself, if 200 million people are using the post office as it were before, we used to have water corporation, water running the cities, at least the major cities. In Onitsha, we used to have water corporation, water was running. We used to have these things. We used to have railway in Nigeria. We don't have maintenance culture. People will be killing something, killing it. Before you know it, the last one, they will come and sell off the infrastructure and call it privatization. And everything will just go off like that. Boom. They will even sell the land, sell the property, sell the buildings, sell everything off. Now, other countries, other economies are benefiting from the postal services that Nigerians are supposed to be benefiting from. we need to bring our postal services back. We need to use our postal services to provide some services, other services like foreign, like bureau, official bureau de change, government bureau de change. Here in the UK, they have a very fantastic postal, like they have a very, very fantastic postal service. Anywhere in this country, if you post anything before 5 o'clock and you want it next day delivery, it will reach there. I don't even know the system they use. I don't think they use road to transport those things. I think they have some underground linking system that they can put it, send it gets to where they need to send. Gets to the hub, gets sorted, send it to where it needs to send. The last, what do you call it? Hub to the street where it needs to go is where you probably see postal service vans going to deliver them. But most things are done neatly underground with a system that have been built years ago. Nigeria, we need to wake up. We are losing revenues that are supposed to come from government functioning parastatals and infrastructure that we were supposed to have built years ago. We're supposed to revive all these things. If somebody in Lagos want to send somebody in Onitsha, anything now, you know where he's going? He's going to the bus station. He's going to Yongsha Group or Peace Mass, and he will give it to the driver. It's unfortunate. We're in total comedy. It's not even funny. It's a tragedy. Big shame. Any Nigerian that want to send anything to anybody, we use bus, we use open transport system. That's what people are using now because there is no postal service. They're not even working. If anybody sends you anything and that person make mistake and send it by post office, forget it. Anybody in that office will take that thing. If it's phone, that's it. Goodbye. They will take the phone. You won't hear from them. They won't answer your call. If you walk in there, they will tell you they've not seen it. Should I talk about our customs? You have to pay a huge amount of money to collect something that they've agreed is in their hands. If not, that one is even gone. Otilo. So we are in a situation whereby we are killing ourselves. How can we allow public transport companies to replace our post office services? Because people have more trust that if they give a driver that is going to Onitsha this thing, this envelope, and tell him, please, once you reach, call this person will come and pick it. And they go there, they call you, you come, you show ID, you send. That's how people have been, that has been the savior of Nigerians. That's how Nigerians send things abroad. Send things amongst themselves. If you don't want to do that, if you can afford DHL, you go to DHL office and pay them. And it's usually a lot of money. Sometimes they charge you in dollars. If you're sending abroad, of course, you don't have any other option. You use DHL. Why is it that anything Nigeria has to do with mediocrity? Everything Nigerian has to be with. And the thing is that those abroad, like we abroad, we have to keep lowering our standard when we want to deal with Nigeria and Nigerians. Lowering the standard we used to operate on. And yet, even at that veriest lowest standard, Nigerians will still shame you. You even go lower, much lower. If DHL is taking 2 days to deliver any other country, Nigeria, they will tell you it's 5 days. Because they have to deal with hurdles, even with their very efficient services. So we have all these issues. And it's good talking about them. But how do we start solving them? We need to provide jobs by opening all these post offices again. Reclaiming all this old post office infrastructure. Redeveloping them. Create a maintenance culture of calling a maintenance company that will be maintaining all this government. Even if you have one maintenance company that maintains all the government infrastructure. Okay, this building construction company will be maintaining all the government, both schools, both government houses, both post office buildings. You know, every government, they will be developing them. Every local government will have a company like that. System or government is all about everybody getting busy, doing their little bit. One person cannot run the whole country. You have to create systems Make sure the postal service is working, transportation is working, waterways are working, everything is working. If there is no road, how would post office man send your goods from one place to the other? But if other private transport companies can do this, then we should also be able to do this. Put people that have integrity, because now you can't say educated anymore. Because what we have in Nigeria is fully educated criminals. People who have no limit in terms of lying and criminality, even though they went to school. So we need to find, as hard as it may, find as transparent as possible. Even if it means speaking to people secretly to see who they will vote for. Make sure that our selection process or employment process is very, 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 very scrutinizing to get the best out of the best. And give them these agencies to run. And appreciate good people. Give incentive for working hard, for people to work hard, and people who are transparent enough, or people of integrity. Let us support people who are doing good things. Promote those who need promotion. If we don't do all these things, people will start turning to corruption to be able to help themselves up there. Our postal services is dead. Completely dead. And people always have the need to send things from here to there. Example I've given, in this UK, postal service is working fantastically. Forget this 2H or not. People still send papers and letters, love letters or whatever they have. People send clothes. People who buy things online and it gets delivered and they don't like it and they send it back. All these people use post office. People send back any item, anything that can enter into a box. Yeah? Any box. People still use postal. Amazon, all this online buying are all delivered through post office. This is a huge market that we are losing up on. We are losing a lot of money in. When you hear Amazon is the richest man in the world. What is Amazon doing? He started from selling books. Books was delivered how? Postal services, logistics. DHL is making a lot of money. UPS is making a lot of money. Today, Amazon is employing drivers using their private cars to do Amazon Flex. I did Amazon Flex myself. Uber is making a lot of money. It's not from logistics. People are in need to send things off, to do things, to send things to family members, to friends, to professional people that they need to send things on. We need a total overhaul of our public sector and even our civil servants. The culture in civil services is very, very bad. Nobody is sitting up. Nobody is checkmating anybody. And because of the corruption in government, everybody, there is no interest to work for Nigeria. No patriotism. No love for country. You can't be proud to say I'm a teacher. Minimum wage, 30,000. Somebody who is working in a private firm is earning more than a teacher. How much are our judges earning? There is no pride to be a government worker. And we have a lot of people, about 9.something million people are writing jobs. Imagine people that we are sending to university and how many people are coming out of university every year in Nigeria. No jobs. We need to create jobs by bringing back all these ministries. Revamping all these ministries, bringing everything back up again. That's how you bring economy to start moving. Everything is a cog in the wheel. Everything is a cog in the system. Let everything start working back again. All these things I've been talking about, all these topics I'm selecting. When we start doing all these things, local government will start functioning again. There's no rocket science to these things. It's purely because people that have the access to the money don't know where to invest the money. The money that they invested, nobody is checking to make sure that the money I gave you, do you use it for the same thing I told you to use it for? There should be consequences for people who are corrupt. Nigeria, there is no consequence. In China, you get killed. All these things are purely because of the lackadaisical attitude. Oh, do you know who I am? If you're Nigerian, you will know that phrase very well. Do you know who I am? Do you know who you are talking to? All these things are nonsense. That what killed us and kept us where we are. I'm trying to make my videos very short. So this is where I'm going to stop. I hope you get the point. Please, like I keep saying, my target audience are those in power. Politicians. Send these things to them. If you have anybody you know in power, forward it to them. Like, comment, share my YouTube and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And if you have any topic you want me to speak on, please send them to me. Until next time, God bless you.